Om Shanti. Today is Thursday, the 27th of April 2023. On this Satgurubar, let us listen to the Sakar Murli from our beloved Bap Dada Madhuban. Essence. Sweet children, only by having yoga will you receive the strength to remove your old habits of many births and imbibe all the virtues. Therefore, remember the Father as much as possible. Let's hear the essence. On this Thursday morning, Baba says, sweet children, only by having yoga will you receive the strength to remove your old habits of many births and imbibe all the virtues. Therefore, remember the Father as much as possible. Today's question is, which race are you children now running? When do you get tired of this race? In answer, Baba says, you children are now racing to become beads of the rosary of victory. In this race, some children run very well and others become tired. The reason for becoming tired is that you do not pay full attention to the study. Your manners do not become reformed either. There is doubt as to whether such children will be able to stay here in the future. Because of being influenced by lust or anger, you have tiredness, and you then say that you are unable to climb any more, that you will see whatever happens. This too is a wonder, says Baba. Today's song is, someone made me belong to him and taught me how to smile. Om Shanti. God speaks. It has been explained to you children that neither human beings nor deities can ever be called God. There is just the one God whose temples continue to be built. He is called Shiva or Somnath. He comes and says to you children, sweetest children, remember me in that home of mine. I am the resident of the supreme abode. I come here and enter this body and tell you, you have to remember me in the place to where you have to return. It isn't that you have to remember me here. I have come here to connect the intellects of you children in yoga to that place. Let's hear what Baba says again. It isn't that you have to remember me here. Baba says, I have come here to connect the intellects of you children in yoga with that place. O children, remember me in my home, the supreme abode. You understand how each one's sanskars in this tamoguni world are so different. Those who imbibe knowledge well would surely be called good. Some are such that no matter how much you beat your head, they just don't reform themselves. They don't follow Srimat. It is understood of them that they are great sinners like Ajamil. If someone doesn't study, he or she will become degraded and attain a low status. There are three types of status: highest, middle, and lowest. For those who don't follow Srimat, it should be understood that they are even worse than the greatest sinner, Ajamil. The greatest sinner is Ajamil as per Baba. They have been committing such sins for birth after birth. Although this may be a good birth for someone and not so good for someone else, everyone can go very high by studying. You children now know how you have been around the cycle of 84 births. We are studying to claim a high status in the future. The Father says, look at your behavior in the mirror of your heart. Baba repeatedly tells you children, reform your behavior. Those who believe that they are becoming worthy of heaven also make others the same. There is a lot of difference in their behavior. You have to show the manners of a deity here. What is Baba giving us the task of? Baba says, you have to show the behavior of a deity here. By showing devilish behavior, your status will be destroyed. In fact, all of us were buried in a graveyard. Ravan had buried us in a graveyard. The Father came and removed us from those graves. The world is a graveyard at this point, and Bharat is number one in that. At first, it was the number one land of angels, that is Paristhan, and now it is the graveyard, Kabristan. The father explains, "Look at your face. Are you worthy of interacting in a divine way? Do you believe that you are following Srimat? Are you developing virtues the same as Mamma, Baba, and the special children? Let alone lust. Check. Do I have an evil spirit of anger in me? Both of these evil spirits are very bad. With anger, you burn one another. It is a very big enemy. You have to chase it away. Check. Do I have any defects in me? If I am not following Srimat, I would totally destroy everything. That is all the truth. Srimat is received by you so that you souls become good, and that then becomes imperishable. Unless there is yoga, there cannot be any reformation. The more you remember Baba, the more strength you will receive. If you don't imbibe virtues, Maya will slap you at every step. Someone would promise that he will not become angry, but 5 minutes later he would then become angry. Strong habits of many births have been formed, and so it does take time to remove them. These evil spirits have to be totally controlled. Greed and attachment are their little children. What is Baba saying? These evil spirits have to be totally controlled. Greed and attachment are their little children. The evil spirits of the vices are also number-wise. First of all, there is impure arrogance, and then there are lust, anger, etc. No one else can give these teachings. Therefore, children, become soul conscious. Remember the incorporeal one. Sannyasis consider themselves to be the Supreme Soul. They say that each soul is the Supreme Soul. The Father says, you are bodiless souls, not bodiless Supreme Souls. How could there be so many Supreme Souls? God is beyond birth and death. He is called the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. He sits here and says to you children, now make effort quickly. Death can come at any time and you won't then be able to do anything. Baba says there will continue to be many types of accidents. Calamities are also about to come. Whilst saying today, tomorrow, you may die. And then you won't be able to claim a status. Worthy children are obedient and faithful to Shiv Baba. The Father knows all the children. Ravan has made everyone completely dirty. This is called the devil world. He is now making you into deities. You will become that if you follow Srimat. They teach children at school and they also teach them manners. What is Baba saying? Baba says they teach children at school and they also teach them manners. You learn manners here too. The main thing is divine behavior. Impure arrogance is very bad. It makes everyone fall. You then become body conscious again and again. The Father says, consider yourselves to be souls and remember me, and you will come to me. Maya has cut off everyone's wings. No one can go back home. Otherwise, souls can fly so fast. However, no one can go back to the supreme abode. No one except the Purifier Father can take anyone back to the incorporeal world, nor can anyone go to the pure corporeal world. People don't understand the coming and going. Since destruction is to take place, the Father will take everyone back like a swarm of mosquitoes. What will happen then? They don't understand anything. The Father has come to establish the original eternal deity religion of the new world. No one understands that the God of the Gita established the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan. At the time of the Mahabharat war, Rudra truly created the sacrificial fire of knowledge, from which the flames of destruction emerged and the world was destroyed. Those to whom he taught Raj Yoga became Lakshmi and Narayan, the King of Kings. You know, we are studying with God. We are studying and becoming the masters of heaven. Previously, there was the Christian kingdom, that is the government. Now, the people of Bharat believe that they are the masters. However, you know that you become the masters of the whole world. The Father himself comes and changes human beings into deities. It isn't in anyone's intellect how or when he changed human beings into deities. Although they study the Granth, they don't understand anything. You can now explain to them. You children have to imbibe divine virtues and follow Srimad. Otherwise, your wings will be broken. Baba says, when you imbibe knowledge fully, you will also develop divine manners. All human beings are body conscious. They have one defect or another. The Father explains to you so well. God speaks is also mentioned in the Gita. He says, O children, I have come to teach you. You are becoming judges and barristers, etc. I have come once again to make you into the masters of heaven. I am the creator of heaven. I come and make you children into the masters of heaven every cycle. At this time, you are becoming greatly fortunate. This play is like that. Maya makes you unfortunate. It is number wise. Some are 100%, others 90%, others 80%. The more someone studies, the more he is able to show that. You have to have the concern to be threaded as number 1 in the rosary of Rudra. What is Baba saying? You have to have the concern to be threaded as number 1 in the rosary of Rudra. When those students are transferred, they go from one class and sit in another class. They receive a number according to the marks they receive. Then they are transferred accordingly. Here too, you souls study and become threaded in the rosary of Rudra number wise. Their souls' genealogical tree is big. There, meaning the soul's genealogical tree is big. Then from there you will become the rosary of victory of Vishnu and sit on the throne number wise. You are Brahma Kumars and Kumaris, but at this time there is no rosary of you because a race is taking place. Today someone is racing ahead very well, and tomorrow he stops running. Today he calls him father, and tomorrow he divorces him. Many have doubts. They neither study nor imbibe manners, and so they become distressed and then try to run away. They divorce Baba. There are some children at many centers who believe that they have become tired, that they won't be able to climb anymore, and then they say, whatever is going to happen will be seen. The number 1 enemy, lust, causes a lot of trouble. Even those with anger become troubled and then divorce the father. It is a wonder. The bridegroom, the God of the devotees, comes to teach you and make you into beautiful flowers, and yet you divorce him. The father, the bridegroom, never divorces anyone. The brides divorce him and run away. And so, what can the father do? They become traitors. The father says, I am your bridegroom. I have come to make you into the Empress of Heaven. I have come to remove you from this jail of Ravan and to take you to the cottage free from sorrow. In spite of that, you don't follow Srimad and you go to Ravan's side. Many people turn back from their pilgrimages. They don't go with the honest hearts in the first place. Baba is now taking you on a spiritual pilgrimage. You know that souls will shed their bodies and go back to the supreme abode. They will then go and claim their status according to the efforts they made. What is Baba saying? Baba says that you know that souls will shed their bodies and go back to the supreme abode. They will then go and claim their status according to the efforts they made. You can understand what status you will claim according to your behavior. On the path of ignorance too, some children are obedient and follow their father's orders, whereas others cannot see clearly. Baba says it is the same here. No matter how much you explain to them, they don't stop being stubborn. There are such unworthy ones too. They don't understand what status they will receive under those conditions. Baba repeatedly explains to you, but you still forget. When they are in the jail of a womb, they make promises to change, but when they come out, they become as they were before. Here as well, some children are such that nothing sits in their intellects. It is number-wise. Baba says it can be understood whether someone is a godly nightingale or not. It is always the worthy children who remain engaged in doing service that climb into the heart. You know that you have sacrificed your body. Why should you keep it? The mother and father don't tell you to do service day and night. You may rest for 8 hours and do service for 8 hours. For the remaining 8 hours, remember the father. Let's hear what Baba had said once again. It can be understood, says Baba, whether someone is a godly nightingale or not. It is always the worthy children who remain engaged in doing service that climb into the heart. You know that you have sacrificed your body. Why should you keep it? The mother and father don't tell you to do service day and night. You may rest for 8 hours and do service for 8 hours. For the remaining 8 hours, remember the father. It doesn't take long to explain the pictures to anyone. That Shiv Baba is your father and we incorporeal souls are his children. Have you ever heard the name of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul? Truly, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul sits here and establishes the new world through Prajapita Brahma. Baba says, truly, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul sits here and establishes the new human world through Prajapita Brahma. He makes the old world new. You receive property from that grandfather. He says, simply remember me. All devotees remember that Father, come and liberate us from this sorrow. He comes and enters Brahma to give you children your inheritance. He says, I will make you souls pure through this one, teach you knowledge and yoga for the kingdom and take you back with me. Then from there I will send you to heaven. Those who do something receive the reward of it. The Father explains so much. The ways and means of the Father are unique. Look how He grants salvation to everyone and how He establishes the kingdom. This is why He is praised. The world doesn't know at all how the Father gives Srimad or what He changes us into from what we were. Therefore, you should remember such a Father. What is Baba saying? The world doesn't know at all how the Father gives Srimad or what He changes us into from what we were. Therefore, you should remember such a Father. By following His directions, you will become like Lakshmi and Narayan. It has been said that even if Brahma were to come down, it is the same here. Some don't even know Shiv Baba at all. Simply by saying Mama, Baba, no one can climb into their hearts. Mama and Baba know who belong to them and what will they become. What will you become if you don't study? Everything can be understood from each one's activities. There isn't any other study from which you could tell how you experience your 84 births. I am teaching you Raj Yoga to make you into future princess and princesses. The Father also says, this Father also says, therefore you should make effort. The whole kingdom is being created now. It isn't that if you fail once, you will be able to study again. A kingdom is being established here. You are given a vision of all the different types of status, and that is why you should follow Srimad. Baba says you are given a vision of all the different types of status, and this is why you should follow Srimad. The directions of Brahma are also well known. There are the directions of Sri Shiva. You are not going to receive directions from Sri Krishna. There you simply experience your reward. Meaning, in Satyug, we simply experience our reward. There, everyone has good directions anyway. There is just the question of a high or low status. The king is the king and the subjects are subjects. An obedient child is one who follows Srimat and makes full effort and glorifies the father's name. Acha, Bap Dada's love, remembrance and good morning to the sweetest, long lost and now found children. After giving love and remembrance, Baba asks you children, who are the decoration of the Brahmin clan, the spinners of the discus of self-realization, tell me, do you love Shiv Baba as high as the sky or as high as the Brahma element? Tell me how much each of you loves me. Acha. The spiritual father says namaste to the spiritual children. And we, the spiritual children, also say namaste to our spiritual father. Today's essence for dharana has 2 points. The first point is, become a godly nightingale and glorify the father's name. Imbibe knowledge and make your manners very good. Second point, race to be threaded in the rosary of victory. Never become fed up or tired of Brahmin life. Constantly follow Srimat. Today's blessing, may you experiment with the power of silence using the instrument of pure thoughts and become an embodiment of success. Let's hear the blessing of this Thursday morning. Baba says, may you experiment with the power of silence using the instrument of pure thoughts and become an embodiment of success. Baba explains, the special instrument to use for the power of silence is pure thoughts. With this instrument of pure thoughts, you can see whatever you want to become an embodiment of success. You can see whatever you want to become an embodiment of success. Experiment with this on yourself first. Experiment with it on any illness of your body and see how, with the power of silence, any karmic bondage will change into a form of a sweet relationship. By using the power of silence, any strong bondage of suffering of karma will be experienced to be like a line of water. So, experiment with the power of silence on your body, mind and sanskars and become an embodiment of success. Finally, the slogan for today, become a lamp of the clan and glorify the name of the Brahmin clan with the light of your awareness. Slogan once again, become a lamp of the clan and glorify the name of the Brahmin clan with the light of your awareness. Acha, Om Shanti.